Right, pretend you're not here. Right.
I'm not here again.
Okay. Hello. I don't know why that made me laugh. It was kind of like I was going, hi, come in here and let me tell you about Viagra or something. Shush, you're not
Sorry,
here.
I'm not your fault.
Right. So I guess it would have been last week. I was talking to Rose King, and then, man, that guy can talk. He just talks and talks and talks. So what? And this is only 20 minutes to pick up. So we decided we'd just have to do a two-parter.
Two-parter.
Are you laughing because you're ashamed?
I'm ashamed that we said parter.
Parter,
Parter. Suddenly became like a wee posh word there, didn't it? Parter.
Two-parter. Can I introduce you?
Yeah. Oh, please. Sorry.
So, ladies and gentlemen, and anybody watching,
Anybody watching, please.
or listening. I'm sorry if you're. Do you know what? If you're listening, that's a wise move today because my makeup is awful. Anyway. I've got the big eyes, the big sore eyes. Anyway, so please welcome my co-host, Ross King.
Whoa!
Woo!
Woo! Woo! Feeling of deja vu. Or Vuja Day. None of this has ever happened before.
No, I know. Until
Right.
do you know what? I was going to change my shirt to pretend it was a different day. And then I got into this whole thing.
Somebody at the door.
Somebody at the door.
Is
The
someone-
kids have come back themselves.
Are we still recording? I don't know. I think we are. Oh, the red light's still on.
Really funny. It's like one of those things, you know, when you go to somebody's house and then I always do that when they go to the toilet or something. I always say, wouldn't it be funny if we just all left?
Yeah.
You know, that whole thing, and then they come back out.
Do you know what? I think I've done that. That seems to ring a bell.
It's a good game. I like it.
Have you ever done that?
Oh yeah, I do it in all sorts of places. I even do it with the crew sometimes.
Oh, you do? You
Yeah, yeah. And then I get other people, and then like the cameraman will say, "I'm just going to go to and goes to the restroom toilet, and then comes back, and we've all hidden and things. It's so stupid. It's so
What's your
inventive.
favourite practical joke? What's your
My
favourite?
favourite practical joke is the one I do. Well, I do two things every single day.
Right.
One is I do the numbers gag.
What's that?
The numbers gag, which is basically, you know, somebody will say, oh, what about so-and-so's son? And you go, oh, he's so lovely, and he's doing this, and he's doing that, and he's like, oh, and he's still does the toilet at the side of the street and all that stuff. And how old is he? He's 37. So there's always, the numbers, I can do a numbers gag every single day. And then the other one that I always do is when someone calls me, and then you're on the phone, and it's like, you're in the middle of filming, you go, yeah, okay, no, and chat. And then after about 10 minutes, and you go, okay, thanks, sorry, wrong number. And I do that every single day. So just do that I do every day. It's sad. The numbers gag and even Brianna, my fiance, will just go, oh, God.
Please don't do it, that one.
The numbers gag and wrong number.
The one that I always do is when someone says they've got a week off, I go, and they go, no, you've got a week off. And they're like,
See?
Anyway.
So
the reason we entirely needed another podcast is down to a friend of mine called, he twittered in a question, and his Twittery handle is Big Shagger 1. And what Big Shagger 1 had asked Ross was, did your anchor hold after leaving the BB in Knightswood?
okay, so to explain, the BB is a boys' brigade.
Boys Brigade. It's kind of like the Scouts, but
Kind of like the Scouts, but
better uniform, right?
Yeah, cooler. I would say cooler uniform,
Yeah.
although I'm sure Scouts would disagree. But and did your anchor hold? Will Your Anchor Hold is a boys' brigade song. Will your anchor hold in the storms of life? And the motto of the BB is sure and steadfast.
Right.
But I went to the BB in Scotstoun, not Knightswood. I went to the 135 in Scotstoun, and the 260 is one of the ones that was in Knightswood. But I understand, but I lived in Knightswood, so there we are.
Take
Big
that,
Shagger
Big
1.
Shagger 1. What do you know?
Big Shagger
How
135.
far away is Scotstoun from Knightswood?
Not far, but 10 minutes.
Right.
10 minutes. Billy Connolly always used to say that Knightswood seemed a bit like America because Alderman Road and all those streets were huge, big, wide streets, and he always thought it looked a bit like America.
In the rain. In the
Tinseltown
rain.
in the rain.
Oh, do you know though, here is really ugly in the rain, don't you think?
Yeah.
In Los Angeles.
Every place
it's
is
like
there.
Airdrie or something like that. No offence, Airdrie, but you know. Anyway,
None taken. Shouted back.
People in
And
Airdrie
Coatbridge.
understand.
And Coatbridge.
Coatbridge. I'm not going to talk about. I have cousins in Coatbridge. So
Yes.
the story with these, right?
Yes. Oh, right. There is a story.
Yeah,
There's a structure. There's suddenly a structure.
No.
All right. Okay.
No, there's no
Okay.
structure. No, there's none at all. So this, I'm holding. If you're listening to this, well done. My makeup is terrible, but I've got some records in my hand, or what would you call it? Little singles.
Yeah,
Singles.
45s.
45s. And we are cleaning out the house. And Mark wants me to get rid of the records on account of we don't have any record player. And I want to keep them.
Seems fair.
No, it's not
Seems
fair.
fair as well.
It's not. That's
You want to keep them as well.
Yeah, it
That's fair.
seems fair.
I could be a marriage counsellor. Who can Very fair.
No.
That's right. Yeah.
So what I agreed was that I would get rid of the ones that my co-hosts,
Oh, right.
handymen or guests
Yes.
agreed could go.
All right. Okay.
So you get the vote on them. So
Okay.
first up is Dollar with Give Me Back My Heart.
Oh.
I don't even remember this one. I think this one could
Give
just
me
go.
back my heart. I do, yeah. Produced by Trevor Horn, who was the man behind Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Really?
Yeah. And also was from the Buggles. Video Killed the Ring. That was Trevor Horn.
I always thought that was a great name though. Trevor Horn. Do you know what I mean? Like Mr. Horn. And it's like a kind of porno name, isn't it?
It is.
Mr. Horn. Trevor Horn.
Give Me Back My Heart. David Van Day, Theresa Van Day. Originally part of Guys and Dolls. Do you remember Guys and Dolls? There's a whole lot of loving going on
in the world.
That's it. They were part of it, and then they went off and did their own thing.
Do you know, for some reason, I never met her. I don't know her, right? I don't know her, and I never met her. And none of my family ever met her or knew her, as far as I know. But my mother decided that this woman was a bitch. And I don't know why. Do you know, she just decided that she was going to be a bitch. And I was like, why? She hasn't done anything. Do you ever find that you you see people on TV and stuff like that and you're just like, oh, I don't like you. And you haven't done anything.
No. And then sometimes when you meet them, because you thought they were going to be so horrible and when they're actually just quite nice, then you really like them because they were just quite nice.
Yeah, totally.
But no, they were... No, I worked with them a long time ago.
And I bet you she was nice.
She was lovely too.
She was very pretty and small.
So was David.
Was he small?
Yeah.
A lot of singers are small, aren't they? Why is that?
I don't know. They were on keychains, I remember. I remember. I had them in a charm bracelet. I used to wear them as a charm bracelet for a while.
Very pretty.
Yeah,
so
very
what
pretty.
do you think?
Well, I think handheld and black and white was a bigger and better hit. So I think you could put that one to the side. But it's a great picture, though.
It is. But you know what? It makes me remember that my mum didn't like her.
All right, so that.
And I don't even.
bad
And look,
memories.
you can't see this, but at the top here it says 50p. So I have a feeling that I may have got it in like a thrift shop or something. So yeah.
Right. Okay. Go on. Oh.
Yeah. And the next up is the Wombling Song and Remember You're a Womble.
Mike Batt at his best. Mike Batt is a musical genius.
Yeah, I loved this. I
Great.
loved
Do you
this.
think there's anybody in America that knows who the Wombles are?
No, but they're making a movie. There's a Womble
Yeah.
movie coming. I can bring you exclusive news. Yes, I just spoke with Mike Batt. Only a couple of... How weird is that?
Is he a nice guy?
Lovely guy. Brilliant.
Oh,
An
that
absolute
makes me
genius.
happy.
Absolute genius as well. Musical genius. Writes film scores. Can write fun songs like that. Can write beautiful songs. Winter's Tale. All
I
these
guess
songs.
it's a good time because it's
Katie
environmental.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Type.
Yeah.
But Remember You're a Womble is a great song.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the kind of song that, in a way, it's nonsense, but then a lot of songs are nonsense. But like, it made me think of the whole sort of glam rock thing.
Yes,
So
that's
there's
what
a
it was.
whole kind of
It was
glam
that whole
rocky
bit.
thing.
It was sing and repeat, wasn't it? Remember
Yeah,
you're a womble. Remember you're a womble. Remember you're a womble. Remember you're... I'll regret that.
To license it.
That's it. I'll regret it. It's all right. Michael let us off. Mike Batt.
But you know, I obviously thought that this was a keeper even way back,
Oh,
because
yeah.
it says on the back here, colour this drawing with crayons or paints.
Oh, and you didn't.
I didn't. I
Did
must
you
have
keep
thought-
things in the box when you were a kid?
Sometimes, and then
That's not a euphemism.
Only-
That's not a euphemism.
No,
Before I
just,
go any further.
only my feelings.
Oh.
Just siblings.
I think I would keep them in the box for maybe a couple of days and then I'd lose patience. Did you?
Yes, except for one thing,
What?
which I found again in my mum and dad's loft when I went back home only a couple of years ago. Pro Shot Golf. And for anyone who's listening or watching, this was the most bizarre game. That it was like a golf stick, but at the bottom of it was a mini Arnold Palmer. And you put this little trigger, and he actually hit the ball, and you could do.
Oh, I think I vaguely
So
remember
I
that.
found it in the attic, and it was in the original box and everything, the little original green and the little sand traps and all the rest of it. I remember thinking, this is it. And then I went on eBay, and they were selling for about 60 quid. And I suddenly thought I had this amazing thing, because it was original in the box anyway.
Yeah, you know what I have done is I've collected years and years worth of the Beano. You know the Beano? But all my Beanos are not expensive Beanos, but I love the Beano.
Oh, that's good. So you got to keep that.
Yeah,
That's
no,
got to stay.
Who wrote the Wombles? Did he actually?
Yes.
Did he write the story of the Wombles?
Elizabeth Beresford.
Oh, I knew that.
And then Bernard Cribbins narrated them.
I loved Bernard Cribbins.
But Mike owns the Wombles now, but he wrote all the Womble songs.
Do you know, a good friend of mine said that she worked for the BBC Scotland, and she was sexually harassed by a Womble. He tried to. It's true. I don't really know where I'm going with that, but I just want to say that she was sexually harassed by Tomsk, who was one of the Wombles, and actually my favourite. But there you go.
Okay.
It wasn't the real Womble.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It was like a guy dressed as
don't do that kind of thing.
No, they don't go looking for that sort of thing.
No.
So
Yes, okay.
No, it's just it's a
that's
weird
got
thing of being sexually harassed by a Womble, you know.
Remember I got sexually harassed by an ostrich?
Yes, you did. We went to we just started dating actually, and did we say dating? We were winching, and we went to the premiere of Chicken Run.
Oh, of course.
In London,
Which you were in.
which I was a chicken in, and they had these great big sort of performance ostrich guys on stilts, and Mark was wearing the kilt, and he was all that kind of sheepish way. Oh, I tell you, the ostriches
I think
were
he
after
offered
him.
himself up.
Oh.
That's all I'm going to say. I think
He ran away.
I was like hanging, talking to people, and out the corner of my eye, I can see him going. And the ostrich had big legs, so he could move faster. Now this is a good A.
Oh, yes.
Skids working for the Yankee Dollar.
Good song, Richard Jobson.
Yeah,
Jobby.
I do you know what I fancied him.
But his nickname was Jobby.
Was it really?
Yeah, I remember people calling him Jobby, which we have to
was so
explain.
cool,
He was so cool, but we have to explain, if you don't know and you don't come from Scotland, that Jobby is a name for a number 2.
Poop. It's like calling someone poop. But you know, I was talking to someone about this recently. In fact, it was Declan. We were talking about Puff Diddy and P Diddy. And
yeah.
Some people are so cool. It doesn't
matter
that they've got ridiculous words.
Exactly. But Richard Jobson, and then he became a film reviewer, filmmaker, and all the rest of it.
Yeah, he's still hanging about, isn't he?
Absolutely, yeah.
I loved the Skids actually. I thought they were really good.
Into the Valley, that was my favourite.
I know, yeah, it's a really good introduction.
Yeah.
Were the Skids known over here? Do you know if they were known?
I would have thought that they would have had a couple of hits here. I would have thought, because that was back in the day when if you had a hit in Britain, then it kind of transferred to here. You know, like if you had a number one in Britain, people here would want to hear the song, like Spandau Ballet, True, or Duran Duran.
Yeah. I always think of the Skids as. Do you remember there was a time for bendy leg dancing?
Oh,
The bendy leg dancing. It was followed after by looking like there was a dancing that makes you look like you're riding a horse, but there was the one that was the bendy leg dancing at the time.
And then Jobby and Skids also I always had a 12-year-old laugh at that as well.
Oh, the Skids and I never thought of that. Do you think that's why they did that? I wonder if that's why they did that. And then they went off. Some of them went off and did Big Country, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah, Big Country thing. Did you have
and produced by Bill Nelson, who was Bebop Deluxe, I think.
No.
I think Bill Nelson was Bebop Deluxe, unless I'm completely mistaken. Such an obscure reference now. People are going, oh, far.
No, but then, you know what we can do? We can put little links on the thing here.
And go, he was wrong. Bill Nelson was never in Bebop Deluxe.
No, but we can do... No. But we can put little movies. We can link to other people's videos, so we can put up a video of Bebop Deluxe if we wanted to.
Oh, I like it.
So you're going to do that then?
No, Ross is going to do it because he's a handyman.
I just happen to have a whole bag full of videos here.
Here, who was your favourite band when you were little?
When I was little?
Well, you're still technically
When I was technically little. First concert I ever went to was Bob Marley.
Oh, wow.
That is
At the
awesome.
Glasgow Apollo.
I went to the Wombles there. Remember, I wasn't sexually harassed by any one of them.
So the Glasgow Apollo, Renfield Street, Glasgow. First concert, Bob Marley, and I think I was probably 15 or 16.
Wow.
And feeling very cool, and it was like bum 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 bum, and the whole place was rock. Remember the Apollo really rocked.
Yeah, it rocked.
And then I remember all going so well, out with my mates who were all a bit older, and then the embarrassing moment when I came out and I was like, is that patchouli oil that I smell? No, Ross, it's not. So that was
that's
it.
when you heard about it for the first time?
That was when I heard about it. And then, actually, do you know what? I'm now remembering that actually I was at Radio Cloud, so I must have been 16. And the next day I was sent to go with Richard Park, who was the lunchtime DJ at the time, to go and get an interview with Bob Marley. And
that's
he was
awesome.
staying at the Beacons Hotel, and we played football with Bob Marley outside in the street in Glasgow. How about that?
No way,
I thought,
that's
weird, isn't
fantastic.
it?
Was he brilliant, Bob
He
Marley?
was brilliant.
Just a really
He was
nice
just lovely.
guy.
Yeah, and I think very sadly one of the reasons that he died was that he had cancer, and it started off in his foot. And if he'd got his foot amputated, he could have been saved, but he didn't because he loved playing football so much.
Oh man.
So they were. Sorry to bring things down
No,
a touch
but,
there, but
no, do you know, that's a good story
That's a
because
true
I
story.
like him so much.
Yeah.
You know, like the
he was lovely.
yeah, no, I don't know. I feel a bit emotional.
Keep it together. Keep it together. Keep it together. Keep
So
it
the
together.
Skids, are we
Oh, the
keeping it?
Skids,
Are we
yes.
going?
I think it's part of our heritage, isn't it?
It is.
So I think you kind of have to keep.
Can't throw out Jobby.
No, exactly.
Jobby sticks.
That would be a jobby wheek. You can't wheek a jobby.
No, you can't weak a Jobby off a
You
20
can't wheek a
story.
jobby.
So what bands
here.
did you love?
So that was it. So I
Loved Bob Marley.
like Bob Marley, and then I was also lucky when I came through on the radio where I kind of really started in Glasgow. That there was this brilliant time in the 80s where I got to play all the stuff. So bands like Hip Sway, and then Hue and Cry, and Wet Wet Wet, and Deacon Blue, they all kind of came through. So I was going to see these bands playing, and they didn't have record deals. Lloyd Cole and the Commotions and all the rest of it. So I had that whole...
That's the first concert I went to.
Was it like Cole?
There we are.
There was a period of time in Scotland where there was just loads of really brilliant bands.
Yeah.
Like the Danny Wilson and
Yeah.
do you know, like people like Gary Clark is just a brilliant musician,
Sensational,
man. Do you know what I mean? And it seemed like there was a whole period of time.
And that was it. And everyone was in a band, or everyone was joining a band, and everyone was getting an advanced deal.
Following a band.
Or following a band, exactly.
Following a
So
band.
so no, it was great. So that was it. So I think that was probably my favourite time then.
Did you have a band?
I had a band briefly at school called the Monkeys 2. The Monkeys 2.
The Scottish Monkeys.
The Scottish Monkeys, because we thought it'd be great to get publicity because we'd be the Monkeys again. And it was me and a guy called Andy McCafferty, who actually then did play in bands for real. John Gordon Sinclair, who had
No way, were you
so
at school?
Gregory's
with him?
Girl, yeah. And so we never really, I think we rehearsed a couple of times in the house, and I don't think we could even play instruments. I think we just, let's form a band. It was one of those things.
Who did you, could you sing or anything?
I
Or did
could
you-
sing a wee bit, so I was a lead singer, yeah.
And what did John Gordon
I think
sing?
he mined the drums. I think it was that.
Bless him, because he's so gangly.
Yeah,
he's
that's
like a
right,
big
perfect,
spider.
yeah. That was it. So yeah, that was it. And then I sang with a few different kind of bands, but nothing great. And funny enough, with Wet Wet Wet, and then I actually recorded a song in Wet 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 studio
No way.
forever ago, a version of Hall & Oates' Rich Girl, which sadly probably will come up now. No, yeah.
What, your version? Have you got
My
one?
version of Rich Girl, and we recorded it.
Have you got a video of it?
There is a video somewhere of me singing on a kids show, the 8:15 from Manchester, and then there's actually.
That's
I
a
definitely
challenge.
think That's a challenge.
That's a challenge.
That's a challenge to listen to it. Believe you
No.
me. So yeah, so that was it. So there we are.
Wow. And what would you... God, can you hear
You can
the
hear the gardener, yeah.
gardeners going? What would you... like, you've done a ton of things, and every time, like... Because I have to say, I'm kind of envious of your life.
Oh,
I am.
thank you.
Because whenever I call you, you're doing something glamorous, and you're
Yes.
like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm making dinner. I'm making dinner.
If I could
I'm
make dinner, I would
cleaning
make
the
dinner.
kitchen. You know.
I'm a good cleaner. That's what
Are you a good
I am a
cleaner?
good cleaner. I'm actually. I think I could be on that cusp of, the slightly the OCD
Oh,
stuff.
really?
Yes.
What are the things that really bother you?
The washing machine and the dryer.
Yeah.
I have to get those Clorox wipes and clean them all down, and then open them and clean all inside them so they're all nice and
Well, you know
sparkling.
what, that is, that's a good thing to do, because I was working on this kind of random science program,
Mhm.
and there was a whole thing about. Do you know what? This was a really interesting story. It was a fabulous story. I cannot tell
The
you how
science project,
awesome.
right in the middle of a science project, and you have to go and get the kids.
I'm sorry about this.
There
I'm
we
sorry that you're not going to get the story, and I'm
was a good
sorry
one
about
as well.
this. But it was a good story. But
a good one.
it was lovely.
There we are. Well, thank you.
Come back.
Yes, anytime,
Very
anytime.
good.
That's
Well,
all
anytime when you're not in bloody seeing James
Mexico
Bond
with
in
James Bond.
Mexico or something like that. Anyway, you've been lovely, and Mark's been naked and quite quiet this week, which is awesome. And it's
I'm still
time.
thinking about the Mexican James Bond. Is that not right?
Right, we better go now. Better go. Bye. See you next time. Bye. Oh, so if you want to ask a question, I can't guarantee we'll answer it, but I'll try. You could tweet me a question at Lynn Fergie, or you can make a comment if you're watching this on the video. And you know what would be awesome? Can you share this? Thanks. All right. Mwah. See you later.